everybody. Welcome to Suzie Q's Tuesday Tip. My name is Sue Sanders, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Lake Ozark, Missouri. So we're going to wait just a few minutes. I might have jumped the gun a little bit because I'm so excited about tonight's tip. So we're going to wait a few minutes to see if some people join us. Ding dong me, I posted my little reminder thing without the time. I don't know what I was thinking today. But anyway, it's been, I don't know, a rough couple of days. So sometimes my mind just doesn't work very well. What I do want to remind you about is the June special that I have going from now until the end of June. If you use my host code, and I'll put that up here for you, and you order between $50 and $149 using my host code, you will receive a free package of any new embellishment in the annual catalog up to a $9 value. Plus, you will get a free card kit with the tutorial on how to put that card kit together. So you'll get all the pieces cut. If there's embellishments to it, you'll get everything that you need to put that card together. So that is my special, and I'm having that because I celebrated my birthday as well as my 20th anniversary this month. And so that's why I thought I wanted to celebrate with everybody, all my customers and all of you out there in Cyberland. So I'm hoping that some people can find me tonight, since Ding Dong forgot to put what time I'd go live. I was trying to rush that this morning when I was getting it ready to post, and I haven't quite figured out how to get those announcements to post, and so I hurry through them. Hi Terry, how are you? Welcome tonight. I'm glad that you were able to join me. I'm hoping that a few more people find me on here, and we can get started here in just a few minutes because I don't want to take up too much of anybody's time. This is going to be kind of a really quick demonstration on a tip. I know that sometimes we get or brain fog, where we sit down and we want to make a card and we don't have any idea what kind of a layout we want to use. So a lot of times when that happens to me, I will go out and I search Pinterest, and I have a board out there that is card sketches. And I did this a lot whenever I was doing scrapbooking, where I would search for a layout on how to do a layout for my photographs. Hi, Lori. Welcome. I love that you're on here tonight with us. My assistant and my, as she refers to herself, favorite grandkid will be joining me here shortly. Funny story is we were out and about this afternoon, well, basically since 8 o'clock this morning, and we came home and we were all just exhausted, so we laid down to rest for an hour. Well, it was 6 o'clock when we all finally woke up, so we had slept for 3 hours. And it was like, oh my goodness, I have to go live in an hour and we haven't eaten supper yet. So they went and got pizza, so they're eating, and so they were going to join me after they get done eating. So I think I'm going to do is flip my camera around so that you can see exactly what I'm going to be doing. But before I do, I want to tell you a really funny story. So today I had two packages that was supposed to be delivered by Stampin' Up, or delivered to me from Stampin' Up. And I checked the tracking, and one said that it was going to be delivered today by UPS. The other one said delivery was attempted. And I thought, well, why didn't they leave the package? They always leave a package on my porch. So I called the post office and I said, I'm looking to see why a package wasn't delivered today. And so she's taken down my tracking number and she goes, can you just wait a second? She goes, there's a rooster crowing in the back. I said, a rooster? So she said, yes. And I said, okay. So she comes back and I'm giving her the number and I hear it cockadooing and all of this. And she goes, yeah, we get roosters in here all the time. They mail them. I said, you can mail livestock through the mail? And she goes, oh, yeah, they do it all the time. It's usually overnight. And I'm thinking, what if that rooster gets delivered to the wrong place, like so much of my mail? It's a wonder that, a rooster can be sent through the postal system and get to their arriving address, but I can't get a package because somewhere along the line, UPS decides to deliver it to Camdenton, and there's nothing on there for Camdenton. So anyway, I'm going to flip my camera down. So we're going to get started because my assistant is going to come in here so that she can run my computer for me. So hang tight just a minute.
I did not come.
Well, you're here, so you may as well be here. Okay, so I'm hoping that some more people join us, but I'm really, really glad to see you guys on here tonight. Like I said, I just kind of really messed up whenever I did my announcement about what time we were going to go. Okay, so let me move this a little bit closer to me. And so all I'm doing, and this is what I want everybody to try to understand, when you do a card sketch, you can just pull out, and these are just all discontinued cardstock and designer series paper. So you don't need to use our precious new paper that we just don't want to give up, okay? So use the old paper. Two things. One, it will help get rid of your stockpile. Two, you don't want to just throw it away, but if you've got just a small scrap of it, then you can throw it away because you've used it for something. And it makes room for more paper for you. So this is the card sketch that I had shown on the picture today. So we're going to make this one, but then I'm going to do another one. So if you have cardstock, if you have old cardstock and you want to cut it along with me, go grab your cardstock, go grab some discontinued or old DSP that you don't like, and bring your trimmer and come back real quick, and we'll go through this and we'll cut this together so that you can get a card sketch. Okay, so we'll give you a few minutes to do that. Maybe we'll have some more people join us. And I'm going to sit here and watch my granddaughter put ink stamps on her. Okay.
It's a family event tonight. What can I say?
Yes, it is a family event. She did awesome. She came to my birthday bash Saturday, and she worked on some kits that I had cut for her. She was making Father's Day cards, and she did fantastic. She did her Father's Day cards. She worked on a paper pumpkin. She ended up making 14 cards and never really had questions about anything. She did awesome. All right, so for this card sketch, and the way I'm going to do this, because I don't need a full card, because we all know that the card base normally measures 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. So I'm just doing a card base. I'm just using 1/4 of a sheet of paper to do my layout on. And then that way it's going to be able to fit into what I'm going to put it in for my reference book. So for this piece, and then I have wrote down here on the back of it what my layers are and what size they are. Now, if you want, you can do the same thing on the front. You can write on your paper what size it is so that you don't have to write it on the back, but it's just as easy for me to do that. So we're going to start with a card base that measures 5.5 by 8.5, and we're only going to use 1/4 of a sheet. So here's a piece of paper that I have. So I'm going to make it at 5.5, which this one is, and then I'm going to cut it at 4 1/4 because that's where my score line would be. So now this would be the base of my card. Now I have layer 1. Layer 1 is the mint macaron, okay? Because mint macaron is out, so I can use it as a layer. And for this one, I'm going to use polished pink, I think. So it is measured out at 5 by 3 3/4. So I will cut this piece at 5 inches, and then again at 3 3/4. So that's our second layer. Then I have a piece of white layer. Now this depicts just another color of the card layers, okay? So this can be done in any colors that coordinate. It's just showing you that you have 1, 2, 3 layers of cardstock, or you can put in a piece of designer series paper. Then you have 2 pieces of designer series paper, a strip, and then a focal point where you're going to actually do your stamping for your greeting. So for this one, for the white, instead of doing the white, I am going to do another color cardstock. And for that, I'm going to use the, this is Blushing Bride. So I'm going to use Blushing Bride, and I'm going to cut this at 4 3/4. Just a little bit off of that by 3 1/2. Am I up too far? Am I okay with my trimmer? Okay. All right. So that's my third layer that we have. Then I have it marked left and right layers so that I would know which direction I'm working with. So my left layer measures 2 1/2 by 3 1/4. Like I said, these are all scraps, okay? I'm not using any new paper at all. This is scraps. So 2 1/2 by 3 1/4 will go 3 1/4 this way. And then 2 1/2 this way. All right, so that's my left layer that I'm going to have. Then my right layer is a 3 by 3. What is this measure? That's too short. So let's see. This is 3 by 3. So we can use this piece. So that's already cut for us. And our strip is 5 by 3 1/4. So we're going to just pick out another piece of paper here that shows a difference in our paper. I think for that one, we'll just use a piece of scrap white. And I will tell you that this is not my good Stampin' Up! White. This is just some cheapo white that I use for mock-up cards, okay? So this is 3/4 of an inch. So we're just going to cut this down to 3/4 of an inch. And then it's at 5 inches long.
Your nails really sparkle into the light.
My nails sparkle. I just got them done today, ladies. I can't wait till Thursday because I'm going to be working with some holographic paper. And then I have another piece of white layer, or I can do whatever color I wanted, that's 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. It's 2 1/2 that way. Is it 2 1/2 this way? Yes, it is. See, just scraps. This is just stuff that I had in my scrap drawers. So this is now going to be for my greeting. Oops. And I'm working kind of blind here because I can't see what I'm doing on camera. So you have to tell Dorothy whether or not you can see it or not. All right. Now I'm just going to take my Stampin' Seal and I'm just going to lay this card together. So we're going to just attach my one layer. Oops. This was Bermuda Bay, which got discontinued. So I'm laying that piece down. Now I'm going to lay down my Blushing Bride. Now, while I would like these to last, I don't have to use as much adhesive as if I were to make this as a card to send to somebody. Okay, So there's that piece. Now we've got our 2 pieces of our designer series paper. So I'm going to put this piece, we're going to put this piece like this and use this. And then we'll use this. It just kind of goes with the pink a little bit better, don't you think? Because it really doesn't matter. This is not a card for anybody. This is just a reference for you. So did we have anybody else joining us? Nobody else joining us? Okay. Oops. Well, they can watch it on the replay because it will be recorded. Okay, so then this piece kind of gets centered right about there so that there's the equal distance between this layer and this layer over here. It unstuck there. All right, now we're going to lay down our strip of white, or for a real card, it could be a strip of any other color that you'd want it to be. And it goes right from the second layer all the way across. And then you have your piece of white, or it could be another layer. This could even be a piece of ribbon. And this is where you would do your stamping or your greeting. And there you have a card sketch. So the next time that you look and you think, okay, I want to use this paper and this paper and this stamp set, and you don't know exactly how you want to have that card look, you can go to your reference book and you can say, oh, okay, I want to use this sketch. Okay, so that's the sketches. And then, like I said, you just write your dimensions on the back of your base and then you can have it. If you wanted to, on the front of this, you could put greeting here so that you would know that that's your focal image. You could put a flower, whatever you wanted to on that. Okay, so the next one, I got a frog in my throat. The next one I want to show you is one like this. So, like I said, out in my Pinterest world, I have a whole board that is called card sketches. And when I am looking at or looking for something, then I will go to that board and I will see what I'm going to make. Vanessa, if you're on here and you're not making a comment, I'm going to have my feelings hurt, girlfriend. I can see that you liked it. So where are you at? You better show up and make a comment, because it's been a long time since I've seen you. All right. So what I did tonight was I just went out to my Pinterest board and I found another sketch. And I thought, okay, we'll do this. Well, they don't give measurements all the time, but there are lots of them out there that will give you the measurements of each different layer. Very simple to follow. So I just kind of made up my own measurements for this one. All right. So I'm going to grab my ruler here. Again, I'm just using a quarter of a sheet of cardstock that's discontinued. So that's what my card base would be. Then I have a piece of paper, cardstock, that's going to represent this piece right here, this orangey colored piece. Okay. And I cut that at, that is cut 1.5 by 5 1/4, or it could be 5 1/4. 1.5 by, yeah, 5 1/4, because this is 5 1/2. So 1.5, or yeah, 1.5 by 5 1/4. So that's going to lay down just like that. If my head wasn't attached, I would be rolling down the highway. So we're going to put that piece there, leaving us just a narrow border. Okay. Then I kind of figured, okay, this piece here, this other light color, it is probably about 2 inches, because you have to fit all these pieces on one card piece, one card front, by 4 3/4. Okay, so that piece I'm going to lay there. So that is 2 by 4 3/4. If you all do these, you're going to have to let me know that you made these and send me a picture of the cards that you made using this. Okay, now it has this little yellow strip there. So I have my little strip here, and it measures at 3/4 of an inch by 4 inches. So that's going to lay side to side. Just like so. And one thing about using discontinued paper, yet maybe messes with your mind that those colors don't go together, but it's okay because we are getting rid of those scraps. And that's the whole point in using this technique as far as making your layouts. Okay, so now you can't see this yellow strip, so that means this piece here is covering it up. All right, so I'm going to cover it up, and that is a square that is 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. Okay, so I have a choice here to make. I can cover it up all the way like that, or I could do my own thing and bring it over just a little bit so that I have just a little bit of that strip showing, which I prefer. So that's how we're going to do this. Gonna lay that down. All right, and you can do one thing with doing things like this is you could pop up these with dimensionals, but you could make a note of that on the back of your card. You don't have to necessarily do that when you're making this card to be put into a little binder for you for a reference. Okay, now it shows a little flower here, so you could use a flower, but you could also use anything else that you'd want. If you had another die cut that you wanted to use, you could put this on there. So what I'm going to do is just stick this down, and I'm going to put optional. Come on. I'm going to put optional on this piece because you may or may not want that. So now I'm going to take and write on the back of it and write my measurements. Okay, so we had a 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 card base, and that was score at 4 1/4. Okay, then my first layer, which is this one here, and you could even number this. This is layer number 1, layer number 2, layer number 3, layer 4, and layer 5 optional. Okay, so number 1 layer, it was that one that was 1 1/2 by 5 1/4. 1 1/2 by 5 1/4. Layer number 2 was your 2 by 4 3/4. Number 3 was our strip, so that measured 4 by 3/4. Number 4 was our square here, and that's 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. And then number 5, which is optional, is just a basic die cut or a embellishment. Okay, so there you have another card sketch. So let me show you a card sketch that I created last week. And I did the same thing with it. So here's the card sketch that I created last week. On the back of it, I have all my measurements for the layers. Okay, when I sit down and I want to do a card real quick, I can pull out one of these. Okay, now I don't have room in my studio to have these just all laying around. So I have opted that I went to our wonderful $1.25 store. It used to be called Dollar Tree, and you could have everything for $1. Well, now it should be called the $1.25 Tree. And I got one of their $1.25 El Cheapo photo albums. Okay, I would not put pictures in these because I'm sure that this is not acid free. And in my history in the past doing scrapbooking, I want acid free for my photos. So this was the cover and the back that they had on it. Yeah, I don't want to do that. So I took those out, and I'm going to make me a nice front cover and a nice back cover that tells me what is in here. Now I can take and slip, and these hold 48 photos. So guess what? That holds 48 card sketches. Now you don't have to sit down and make all your card sketches at one time. Oh, heavens no, that would be boring. You would want to do them at different times. Okay, so now I've got, for me right now, I've got 3 different card sketches that I have in my little reference book here that I can go to when I'm in a fog and I just don't know what to do. I'm not going to put that one in there because it's a duplicate. But
Well, that one doesn't have the writing on it, does it? The blue one?
yeah, it does, because that's the one I think. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Let's see. She's probably right, you know. She's right. The writing's not on that one. So I'll use the one that does have the writing. And I'll share that with a friend and put the writing on it. Okay. So there is my sketchbook ready to start using. And anytime I go in to do a new sketch, I'm going to make it up with old discontinued paper, and I'll add it to my sketchbook. So then I should never be without ideas, because the most important thing, this is just a sketch idea. You can take this same sketch and you can do it however you want. For instance, on this one here, if you didn't want to put this square here, you could put a circle there, or you could put an oval there. Okay, this just gives you an idea of where to start making a card if your mind is kind of foggy and you're kind of in a slump. Okay, so that's what I have for you tonight. I wanted to remind you about my special. I had kind of started talking about it. I just had a note fly across the table from one side to the other. My host code is Z as in zebra, B as in boy, the number 3, C as in Charlie, the number 4, K as in king, the number 7, the number 2. If you order between if you order between $50 and $149 before tax and shipping, then you will be able to choose any embellishment in the brand new catalog on pages 139 to 141. Any one of those embellishments up to a $9 value. And I can tell you, ladies, there's only like 1 or 2 that's the $9 value. But you can order any one of those. Plus, you will get a card kit to complete. So you will get all the designer series paper. You will get the If it needs embellishments, you'll get embellishments, and that will be sent out the end of the month. Okay, but you must use that host code. Now, if you have an order that is 150 or more, don't use that host code because I want you to get the Stampin' Rewards from Stampin' Up. So here's what I got to have you do, ladies. I need you to send me an email to SuzieQStamping@gmail.com, and in the subject line, put your order number. Okay, so on your orders, you'll have an order number. Just put your order number there. Then in the body of the email, put that you placed an order for the free gifts for the month of June, so that I know that you placed that order to get those special products. Okay. All right, ladies, that's all I've got for you tonight. I thank you so much for coming in and joining me. I hope that this is giving you some ideas on maybe to get your mojos going and get your creative juices flowing. Okay. So remember, I will be back live at 3 p.m. on Thursday with 3 on Thursday. And then again next Tuesday, we will be doing another tip. It may be recorded. I may end up doing it at night. Once summertime is over with, my Tuesday nights are going to be free. So I may be doing my Tuesday tips on Tuesday nights instead of during the day. So we shall see what happens. And I have a football game going on here between my darling granddaughter and my darling daughter. So, all right, everybody, until next time, y'all have a great week and we'll see you later. Keep on stamping.